Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate Google Form submission alerts on Slack for software development team. So I am an owner of a business and we have created a form with the help of Google Forms, with the help of which the team members can report a bug or give a new idea or a feature or can give a general feedback. So here my objective is that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done by any of my team members, they are going to report a bug or give a general feedback with the help of Google Forms, automatically a notification is going to be forwarded to the Slack channel that I've created as a message to my software development team. And if I'm going to do this manually, it is going to take me a lot of time. So what I did was I simply created an automation between Google Forms and Slack with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to automate Google Form submission alerts on Slack for software development teams. Software development teams use Google Forms to gather bug reports, feature requests, and internal feedback. When a form is submitted, an automated Slack alert is triggered, notifying the relevant team channel. The alert contains the detail of the submitter's name, issue description, priority level, and ensuring that team can respond promptly. This automation streamlines communication, reduces the risk of missing important submissions, and allows the team to focus on resolving issues and providing product development efficiently. And we are going to be creating this amazing automation with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we can sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I am an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see the 5 applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on Access Now. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow, I'm going to give it as Automate Google Form Submission Alerts on Slack for Software Development Teams. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. So these are the folders from which I'm going to select Google Forms Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving a name to our workflow and selecting the folder, let's click on Create. In order to create a workflow is created in the name of Automate Google Form Submission Alerts on Slack for Software Development Teams, and there are 2 windows in front of you. One over here says Trigger, other says Action. Trigger and Action are the 2 most important steps for automation process, because our process depends on these 2 concepts. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means our action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, I'm going to select it as Google Forms. As with the help of Google Forms, I have created a form with the help of which my team can report a bug or can give a feature request. Okay. So this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms, and I want that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms by any of my team members, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. That is why for the trigger application, I've selected it as Google Forms, and for the trigger event, I'm going to select it as New Response Received. As whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. That is why for the trigger application and the event, I've selected as Google Forms and New Response Received. Okay. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. With the help of this unique webhook URL, we are going to create a connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. Okay. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, you need to open the form that you have created with the help of Google Forms that you want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms, and I'm going to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. In order to do that, from the panel over here, click on this this responses option. After coming to responses option, over here it says link to sheets. Click on this. As we're going to do that, it is asking for the destination of responses. Now, whenever a form submission is going to be done, all the responses of the form submission is going to be saved at a particular destination. For that, you can either create a new spreadsheet or you can select the existing spreadsheet. As I want to create a new spreadsheet, I'm going to select this option and click on this create button. As I've done that, you can see over here a spreadsheet has now been successfully created, and this spreadsheet is directly linked to the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms. Now, whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of my team members with the help of Google Forms, automatically a record of that is going to be created in this spreadsheet right over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect. In order to do that, from the panel over here, go to extensions and add-ons. Under add-ons, go to get add-ons. A window is then going to appear in front of you, and on the search bar, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Click Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Select Pabbly Connect Webhooks from here. As I've already installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, I'm going to move forward. But if you have not installed Pabbly Connect Webhooks, please do install it, because Pabbly Connect Webhooks is going to help us connect Pabbly Connect at Google Sheets. Okay, as I've already installed it, I'm going to go back. After installing, I'm going to refresh this page from here. After refreshing the page, go to extensions. Now under extensions, you can see an option Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Click on it. From the given options under Pabbly Connect Webhooks, go to initial setup button. As we're going to do that, this dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the webhook URL and the trigger column. For the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And then for it is asking for the trigger column. So trigger column says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added. So in this spreadsheet, the trigger column of mine is going to be column H, because in this column, the final data is going to be added. So for the trigger column over here, I'm going to write it as column H, and then I'm going to click on this submit button. As I've done that, it says setup configured successfully. That means the webhook has now been added successfully to this spreadsheet right over here. So now what we're going to do is, the steps that I'm going to tell you right now are very important. So please do not forget to follow them. Go to extensions and Pabbly Connect Webhooks again. And now from the given options, click on the send on event button. As over here it is saying working. As the loading is completed, I'm going to go back to extensions and Pabbly Connect Webhooks. You can see a tick mark is in front of send on event. It is very important to click on send on event, because whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms and the record is going to be created of that in the spreadsheet, this spreadsheet is going to send that data to Pabbly Connect. That is why it is very important to click on send on event. Okay. As now the connection between the spreadsheet and Pabbly Connect is successful, I'm going to go back to my workflow. It is saying waiting for webhook response. So now what we're going to do is we're going to test whether Google Forms is connected to Pabbly Connect or not. And in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to do the test submission of the form that we have created with the help of Google Forms. For that, click on the send button, link button, copy this link from here and open it in a new tab right over here. So this is the form that I've created with the help of Google Forms, and now we're going to do the test submission. Firstly, it is asking for the first name of the employee who's doing the form submission. For that, over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as person. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as testperson@pabblytudes.com. For the phone number over here, I'm going to write in a dummy mobile number, okay? After that, it is asking for the submission type. I'm going to select the submission type over here as bug report, as I'm reporting a bug. Priority, I'm going to select it as high. Next, it is asking for the issue descriptions. For that, I'm going to write over here as... So this is the description of the issue, that is the user authentication fails intermittently. I receive a 404-bit error when I'm trying to log into the valid credentials. This issue seems to occur more frequently during peak hours. So this is the issue description right over here. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this submit button. As I've done that, it says response has been recorded. This means the form submission is now been done. I'm going to open the spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, you can see right away the record of the issue is now been successfully created right over here, okay? As the record is successfully created, you can see the first name comes as test, last name a person, email as testperson@pabblytudes.com with the mobile number, submission type as bug report, level as high. You can see right away in the issue description that we have written. As the record is successfully created in the spreadsheet, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right away we've received a response as well in our workflow. Let us tally the response. Priority level comes as high with a dummy mobile number, first name as test, last name as person. With the issue description, the description that we have added as a message while doing the form submission. Email as testperson@pabblytudes.com with the submission type as bug report with all the other details. So this means that Google Forms is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now whenever a new form submission is going to be done by any of my team members with the help of Google Forms, for reporting a bug or feature request or a general feedback, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response in the similar manner. As now the response has been captured, Google Forms is connected to Pabbly Connect. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. Another objective is that whenever a new form submission is going to be done with the help of Google Forms, automatically an alert should be forwarded on the Slack channel that we have created to our software development team. For that, what we are going to do is, we are going to select our action application over here as Slack. So I'm going to select my action application as Slack. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as send channel message. As now we're going to send a message on the channel that we have created in our Slack account. Okay. So after selecting our action application and the event, I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which you can add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection. After that, click on connect with Slack. Over here, then it is going to ask for the token type. I'm going to select the token type over here as bot. Okay. If you want, you can select the token type as user as well. Okay. Then I'm going to click on the save button. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As the saved processing my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on this allow button. As you can see that we successfully authorized Slack to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for the channel on which we want to send a message to. So for the channel, I've created a channel in the name of new bug report and feature request. In this channel, I want to send the alerts of the form submission. So for the channel over here, I'm going to select it as new bug report and feature request. Okay. So after selecting the channel, it is asking for the message that we want to send as an alert on our Slack channel. So for the message over here, I'm going to write it as, I've written it as new. Submission type, submission received. Submitter name, email, priority, issue description. Please review the submission and prioritize it accordingly. So there's a message that I want to send as an alert on my Slack channel. Now for the details like the submission type, name, email address, priority level, and the issue description, what I'm going to do is I'm going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So I'm going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how mapping works is as I'm going to click on this field right over here. You can see it is saying Google Forms new response received. As I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. As over here, I'm looking for the submission type. In the response, we have received the submission type of the form submission. Okay. So for the submission type over here, I'm going to select the data from my previous response. As I've selected data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the submitter name right over here, I'm going to map the data of the name who have done the submission, first name space the last name. For the email address over here, I'm going to map the data of the email address right over here. I'm going to map it. For the priority level, I'm going to map the data of the priority level right over here, that is high. For the issue over here, I'm going to map the data of the issue response that we have received. I'm going to map it. Okay. So this is the message that I want to send on my Slack channel as an alert whenever a form submission is going to be done. Okay. As this is the message that I've written, it is asking for the image URL, all text, bot name, icon, and all the other details. I do not require the fields, so I'm going to skip the part. After filling in all the required details right over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, we have received a response right over here, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Slack channel that I've created. And yes, you can see right over here, we have received an alert for the new bug report submission received. Okay. We have received the submitter's name as test person, email as testperson@pabblytudes.com. Priority comes as high right over here. And this is the same description, issue description that we have written. You can see right over here. Okay. So as the message has now been successfully forwarded on my Slack channel, this means that we successfully created an automation between Google Forms and Slack with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum till now what we have done, I am an owner of a business and we have created a form with the help of Google Forms, with the help of which the team members of my business can submit the bug report, feature request, or general feedback. My objective is that as soon as a new form submission is going to be done, many of my team members with the help of Google Forms, let's suppose they are reporting a bug, automatically the alert of that bug report or feature request or general feedback should be forwarded towards my software development team on the Slack channel that I've created. And for that, I've created this amazing automation between Google Forms and Slack with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. Hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video. Not just with these applications, you can create automation with the help of Pabbly Connect between multiple applications. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask your queries on forum.pabbly.com. If you have any queries regarding the pricing of Pabbly Connect, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment down below if you have any questions and doubts, and please share this video, and thank you for watching.